Good evening. In our news bulletin for tonight, operations at the bank temporarily closed down on Tuesday due to a suspected fire. New Zealand High Commission hosted a citizenship ceremony last week with the granting of 14 new citizenship papers. Niue High School's garden project incorporates agriculture into the school curriculum with the development of a demonstration plot. High school students competed in day one of the annual Sports Day competition in the long distance and field events as a lead-up to the big day next week. Operations at the bank were closed down temporarily on Tuesday morning following reports of a burning smell coming from the premises. Niue's Crash Fire Division responded and Niue Power staff were also on hand to assist as they investigated what the possible cause could be. After some time investigating, the fault was found that a fuse for one of the lights in the server room had shorted out. Niue Power repaired the fault and operations at the bank resumed as normal. The community have been advised to report any fires or suspected fires to the Niue Fire Department, who have stated that they will respond each time just to be on the safe side. The New Zealand High Commission held a special citizenship ceremony last Friday to welcome a new group of New Zealand citizens. 14 new citizens received their papers, and the New Zealand High Commissioner, His Excellency Ross Arduin, stated that this was the most number of applications they have received at any given time. The immigration process for any non-Niueans who intend to live in Niue would normally require that they live in Niue for at least 10 years to get permanent residency. There is also another 5-year waiting period once PR has been attained before people can apply for New Zealand citizenship. According to the New Zealand High Commission Office, it could take up to 12 months before applications are approved, but it is dependent on who may be working on those particular cases. The recipients were originally from Fiji, India, Tuvalu and the Philippines, but have been active members of the Niuean community for many years, and this now opens up further opportunities. The Education Department is looking at ways of taking a more holistic approach to contextualize agriculture into the school curriculum, and a school garden is being set up at the Niue High School. The project is funded by the Food and Agriculture Organization with support from Massey University. The National Agriculture Education Consultant, Tom Bisikea, has been providing oversight throughout the project with the assistance of staff from the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries to get this project off the ground. This has been a collaborative approach between education and DAF as part of a strategy to get more interest in agriculture and horticulture.
Strategies within the Department of Education to provide an incentive for students, because as we know now, a lot of our students, they are not attracted, or horticulture, agriculture is not appealing to them. So therefore, when it comes time for students to select their subjects, especially in the latter part of their studies, which is called the senior schools, very few and far between students who are indicating their interest to pursue studies in agriculture. And we know that agriculture is the backbone of any country. So that is fundamentally the main objective of having this project as a tool to, as a way of how we can, make them interested in agriculture, horticulture. We can incorporate all the aspects, like fruit production, as well as how you're going to use the products from them. Like the passion fruit, it can be used in the catering industry for making drinks, and at the same time we can contextualize. The figs, plants all have the same principles in terms of growth. So therefore they can translate it into how, for example, a mango tree grows. Only thing is that it will be tropical, and but the figs should do well. So there again, the contextualization concept and aspect that can be translated across to our tropical fruits, and actually seeing them say, oh, the figi can actually grow in Niue, good, and the lychees as well, but especially the passion fruit. So therefore, this holistic approach from the garden out onto the table, it's a win-win situation for everyone.
There are a range of crops that have been planted that include fruit trees and vegetables, but what is interesting is that they will be contextualizing learning using newer concepts and plants available on the island. This initiative has been in the pipeline for some time, but it has been fortunate that funding has come through from FAO.
It's always been within the books of education, but with the help of FAO, we're very grateful to FAO for helping to fund this project, and it's going to be ongoing. Now, when we look at these trees, of course, it's going to take some time for them to produce. The lychees there and the fiki here. The passion fruit at the back, behind us, is already fruiting, and no doubt they must have already used it for making drinks. And one of the aspects will be the marketing aspect, where entrepreneurial aspect of it, where students say, aha, I can actually sell this passion fruit. And right now we're just finalizing the list of participants. There is a growing interest of the numbers, so therefore we're working against the budget. So therefore, if we have right now we have two streams, for the adults and for the students and youth, and this we will be using this demonstration plot that we have here, and these workshops, hoping to have them on the 6th and the 10th of July, possibly with a third one, because of the growing numbers that we have right now. And we don't want to turn anyone away, because this is such a great opportunity whereby the interest needs to be generated at all levels if possible.
The demonstration plot will be used as an outdoors classroom for a few community workshops that will start in the next few weeks, and they will be held at the University of the South Pacific. Niue High School students have been in training in preparation for the annual school sports day and have one more week to go until the big day. The decision to spread events over 2 days was because some of the same students have to compete in a number of events, and there may also be too many events for just one day. Day 1 was held on Wednesday, and that was an opportunity for the long distance runners to make their mark in the 800 meters and 4x400 meter relay. A majority of the field events like shot put, discus, javelin and long jump have also been held. Some of these events have also been held during lunch breaks for safety reasons when there are not too many people around. Following day 1, it looks like Pua is in the lead, Moya in second, third Tulangakali, and Kiato in fourth. But the point difference between first and second is quite close. Niue High School's annual sports day will be held next week's Friday, the 7th of July, before students go on a well-deserved 2-week break. And that concludes our news bulletin for this evening. Do join us again for our next news bulletin next week on Tuesday. Do have an enjoyable weekend ahead.